So hello everyone, welcome to the video. So this is one of the most interesting video and it can significantly impact your career progression. So I have seen a lot of candidates who face difficulty in getting interview calls because their interview is not properly tailored or structured for clinical research. So in this particular video we will see how to make clinical research resume, and this particular interview techniques and this particular resume is applicable for freshers as well as experienced candidates. Make sure you watch this video till the end so that you are able to create a very impressive CV and which can get you your dream job. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any interesting video. Without further ado, let's start this session. Let us see what are the topics that we will cover in this particular session. First and foremost, we will understand what is resume writing and how it is relevant to clinical research. Next, we will understand how designing resume for clinical research is important and what are the aspects along with example that we need to incorporate in a clinical research CV. Next, we will understand what is the industry requirement and which are the clinical research related focus areas or section that we must include in our CV. And finally, I will also show you the template for clinical research resume, and also you can get your customized template for your clinical research CV and you can design your own CV. So let's begin. So first and foremost, let us understand 5 fundamental principles of resume writing. First is clinical research should outline your relevant skills and experience related to your own field. Next, that this particular resume should clearly explain to the prospective employers that what are the benefits of hiring you, and same should be reflected in your CV. Next, your CV should be able to attract the potential employers because a dull CV or a generic CV would not essentially give you that interview call. Next would be that we have to design or we have to tailor and customize our CV so that it is targeted to a particular job and a particular industry so that it becomes effective for the interviewer or the HR to shortlist your CV. Next, we will see how we can create a unique footprint for your CV so that it stands out from the crowd and it helps you get through the door and get that interview call. Now, the first step to designing your clinical research CV is to make sure that we structure in a such manner that it leaves an impression on the HR or the recruiter so that he shortlists your CV for the interview call. Because until and unless your CV is structured or formatted specific to clinical research, you're not going to get that interview call. And it is happening because a lot of students I see, or a lot of experienced people even I see, they apply on LinkedIn with their old generic CV and they're not able to get the interview call. So you'll have to design the CV in a particular manner so that it creates an excitement or curiosity about you as a candidate in clinical research. So first and foremost, we need to add the basics of the resume. Okay, the basic sections in a resume. So first we will add the summary. The summary will clearly explain you what kind of job you're looking for, what kind of industry you're looking for, what is your overall experience and how your career is going to move forward if you work for this particular company. Next section is that you add all your hobbies, interests, and how that should be in relevance to the clinical research or in relevance to a field that you're applying your job for. So make sure you customize or tailor in that particular fashion. And lastly, you add the personal section where you will add information such as phone, email ID, address for communication purposes. Now these three are the basic section. Okay. So these you have to add in all of the resume. So get this information and put it on the side. Okay. This we will add. Now let us see which are the essential sections of a clinical research resume. Now moving ahead, we will tailor or customize your CV in specifics to clinical research. Let's begin. So which are the essential section of clinical research resume? First is what are your clinical research specific qualification? Okay, a lot of people make this mistake that they add the generic qualification that they have done pharmacy from here, they have done biotechnology from here, but the recruiter is interested that what clinical research specific credentials do you have, what are your qualification in relation to clinical research or that particular job. So in this particular section, what you will do is you will add clinical research specific qualifications such as any degree or diploma in clinical research or any kind of certification that you have obtained in clinical research. Okay, you have to add this clinical research specific qualification on top of the table, and below that your graduations, your post graduations, okay, that particular qualification will come. But on top of the table, you need to add the clinical research specific qualification. Next thing is, after you add your qualification, you need to add specific skills for clinical research. For example, if you are a clinical research or experienced professional, or if even if you are a student of clinical research, you need to know that there are various data analysis method or EDC systems or data entry portals, or there are any clinical research specific softwares or trial management software that you have used. Okay, for example, Inform. So if you have used Inform system, so you need to mention in your CV so that they know that you don't need to be trained in Inform and you are very well versed with it. It increases your chances of getting hired significantly. So make sure you add your clinical research specific skills when you make your CV. Okay, these particular two sections are very important. First is your qualification and next is your specific skill set for clinical research. Now, once you have added your qualification and skill, the next important thing is your therapeutic experience. What particular trial have you worked on? And this is one of the most important section in your clinical research CV. Okay, so you have to prepare a therapeutic experience table. Now, how should that table look like? So first section you would add in that table is your therapeutic area. Which particular therapeutic area have you worked on? If you are a fresher, this will not apply for you. But if you are a CRC, minimum 6 months of experience, or if you are an experienced CRA, you need to add which particular trials have you worked on. For example, cardiology, psychiatry. Okay, so therapeutic area should come. Next thing is you need to add the indication. So for example, if I am working in cardiology, then I have worked on medication which could target cardiac stroke. So you need to add the study trial and indicate that you have worked on this particular indication. Okay, so first is therapeutic area, next is indication. Then you will add which particular phases of the clinical trial you have worked on. For example, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. This phase is important because based on the phase, your scope of work increases. Okay, so in phase 1 you have limited number of site, in phase 3 you have maximum number of site, and also what is your experience to handle that particular trial phase. Okay, so the phase of the trial is also one of the important aspects. Next is, what is the trial status? Is the trial currently ongoing or is the trial closed? This is very important to understand that how much you worked in a particular trial, what is the status, so that your employer can also verify whether this particular trial happened and whether the status is correct. It also shows that how updated your CV is. So make sure this therapeutic experience table is clearly updated with all the area, indication, phase and status, and it is one of the most important section that the recruiters see. Now let us show you by example. So if you can see this particular therapeutic area experience table. So this is for example. So you need to add your therapeutic area. So for example, here you can add which particular area you have worked on. For example, you have worked on vaccine or retroviral therapy or psychiatry or cardiology. The next column would be the indication. So for example, you have worked on HIV, AIDS, COVID-19, schizophrenia, cardiac stroke. The next column would be the phase of the trial. For example, you have worked on phase 2, phase 3, and the status of the trial, whether it is ongoing or closed out. Okay, so this particular table is a make or break table and it is very important for a clinical research resume. Now, I hope I have explained you the important section of a clinical research resume. We don't need to complicate the resume by adding non-essential stuff. I'm sharing you all the information so that it gets you through the door, it gets you the interview call. So if you want a clinical research resume template from me, I'm happy to share it with you over email. But for that, make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Share us the screenshot for the subscription and Instagram follow on email. at clinicalaimresearch@gmail.com, and we shall share you an editable copy of clinical research resume, which would have all this section which I have explained you, and you can start making your clinical research resume. And I have also like to mention that this particular resume template has been very successful, and more than 45 students and professional have been selected in the top 5 CROs in the world. So this particular template can really help and boost your clinical research resume and your chances of making a good career. So make sure you subscribe and follow us, and we will be happy to help you. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and share it with all your friends and colleagues who want to get into a particular job and who want to design a CV but are facing difficulty. So share it with them so that we can help more and more people. And thank you for watching this.